Now this doesn't happen very often when the budget version is actually better than the way more expensive one. Hey, how you doing? My name is Jay. If this is your first time here, welcome to my channel. And if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point, click on subscribe. This is the Kubey KU216, and you should be looking at some specs right about now. These are measurements I had personally taken myself, but I'll have them in the description for you just in case if you want to follow along throughout this review. Let's quickly take care of those size comparisons so you can get a good idea of how big this knife actually is. And we're going to start out with the Spyderco PM2. Let's do one more from Spyderco and the Manix 2. Here's from Benchmade, the 940. And lastly, the Bug Out. I did mention that this 216 is a budget version of a more expensive knife. And here is that knife, the KU200. Which I have previously reviewed. So at the end of the video, if you look up to the corner, yep, right up there, click on that icon and it will take you to my full review of the KU200. You're probably wondering what makes this $70 cheaper than this. And honestly, it has to do with the materials used. The blade here is going to be D2. This is CPM S35BN. G10 scales. Carbon fiber and titanium, lots of titanium going on here. Another big change is the difference between the blade finishes. So on the KU216, you're looking at a very fine grain stonewash, and up here on the 200, this is actually sandblasted. And I'm really glad that Kubey did it this way because, I mean, we all know sandblasted or bead blasted, whatever you want to call it, doesn't always work well with D2 steel. One feature that is surprisingly the same is the action, because the 216 here has a liner lock and you're looking at a frame lock over here on the titanium, but they both have, at least to me, almost identical action. Very strong detents going on here, so it fires open reliably every single time. I can fail it, but it is difficult to do. And see, you can see it now. I'm trying and I can't do it. I'm also happy to see that they kept these really long milled grooves that you see here on the 200. They did the same thing on the one with the G10 scales, and it just makes deploying the blade, it gives you just a little bit to grab onto to open it up. There are a couple minor differences, and now some of you may or may not be able to see this, but the G10, this one is actually, the blade stock thickness is 3.8 millimeters, and on the titanium here on the right is exactly 4 millimeters thick. Kind of weird. I don't know why, you know what I mean? Like, why not just leave the thickness the same? Because it's really not that big of a difference. I did expect the handle thickness to be a little bit different because the G10, you can see it has the full stainless steel liner, so of course that's going to make it a little bit thicker at 0.55, while the titanium is sitting right at 0.51 inches thick. Now the weight of each one is really not that much of a difference here either. So because on the inside here with the G10, they did go ahead and skeletonize one of the liners to reduce the weight, 4.6 ounces, and then the titanium, see, 4.5. Really not that much of a difference. We should probably go ahead and check just to make sure that these are both have the same cutting performance. Starting with the G10. Quickly go to the titanium. Yeah, I would say they both cut the same. Now you're probably going to think I'm nuts for saying this, but I like the plain old deep carry stamped steel pocket clip here on the 216. I prefer it over the milled titanium one on the 200, mainly because of this diamond pattern. I don't know why they did it like this, because it's kind of weird. It doesn't really match. It doesn't go with the design of the knife. They both ride, you know, fairly deep. I just like this one a little bit better. Now make sure you stick around, because we're going to talk about the price difference between the two, and I'll also go ahead and tell you where you can buy it. Now I actually really like when the G10 scales, I like the green, but just in case you don't, this is also available in tan G10 or black. There's even one with a black coated blade and one that's partially serrated. One change I really wish they would have made is with this flipper tab. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's huge. And either one of these can be purchased on Amazon, and I will go ahead and include links down in the description below. But get this, now the titanium one, when I purchased this at the time, it was $140. Guess what it's selling for now? Yeah, of course, 99 bucks. Yeah, so $99, you get the full titanium, with that little bit of carbon fiber. $30 for the G10. So if you're good with a D2 blade and G10 scales, I would absolutely recommend buying it. There's no way that I would have purchased this if this was available. Hey, so if you enjoyed this video and you got any value from it, hey, would you just leave a thumbs up? I really like those. And don't forget to go ahead and click on subscribe. Hey, thanks for watching, and I will see you at the next video. Take care.